Yeah, exactly. Prevent the layup, give them a little bump, and then maybe they'll think twice about coming into the lane next time. And if they don't think about it, at least they might be distracted by your presence.
And the rejection by Ezeli. The baseline J. Barbosa dishes to Spates. Livingston kicks to Ezeli. Tries again. And it's good on the way in. Ezeli's got his first bucket in this one. There's 10 seconds left in the first quarter. And Williams, here we go. Here's Dellavedova. That doesn't fall. Can't drop his first shot. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Warriors.
Great hustle defensively through the first half, contesting everything and racking up the block shots.
Another thing, I mean, they've done a great job early of creating chaos on defense, being disruptive, and getting steals through the first half of today's game.
On the floor for Cleveland, getting going here in the second. Williams is out there with Matthew Dellavedova. Then there's Tristan Thompson. Then it's Jefferson. And it's Love in at the 4 spot.
Both teams trading punches back and forth. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
The momentum swings, really impossible to keep track of. The energy in the building just keeps going back and forth, ebbing and flowing. I'm loving it.
The Cavaliers trailing. Here's Dellavedova. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game. Here's Thompson. The shot is off. And it's the Warriors taking it the other way. And for Festus Ezeli, came in as an extremely raw prospect a couple years back. Late first-round draft pick. His minutes were down actually last season, but his production was decidedly up.
Yeah, he went from 44 to 55% on field goals, from 53 to 63% on free throws. A testament to how much effort he's putting into developing that shooting stroke.
Looking at who's out there now for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut checked in for Ezeli. Draymond Green comes in for Maurice Spates. Klay Thompson, he's checked in for Leandro Barbosa. And Steph Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston. Green, no luck.
And, you know, going back to Ezeli, impressive physically. 7'6" wingspan, 5% body fat. If his skill set ever catches up with his natural gift, watch out, watch out.
The 15-footer, and Irving gets it to go on the assist by Jefferson. And that's now 6 points for Kyrie Irving. In the corner, Iguodala with it. And Thompson kicks to Curry. Lets it go from deep. But they get it back. Out to the right wing. Good on the triple. Curry's got 8. Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
You know what? Can you believe there have been 7 lead changes already, guys?
Wow.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
Now, here is Irving. 6 points for him. And the shot is good.
And a footnote to Ezeli. One of his college administrators raved about his intelligence. He cited Ezeli's broad perspective on world trade, globalization, and I tell you what, if Ezeli keeps improving, he'll soon be a serious benefactor of the economics of American sports.
Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Cleveland with a change here too. Smith is checked in. Outside Curry. Again, Curry missing.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Back to Irving. Stolen by Thompson. And now running up the court, Rush pushing it all the way. It's 2-on-1. Pushing it up. Here's Smith. Here's Curry with the three. Again, Curry missing.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
Irving. Thompson outside. Here's Mozgov. Down it goes, his third basket. He's now 3 for 4.
Boy, they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing that ball into the paint. Smash mouth basketball.
And Clark, it's a strategy that has served them well during the course of this first half.
Early on last year, it was clear Steph Curry was just on another level. Was an MVP candidate right from the start of the season, and he would eventually be voted that award.
And I thought very deserving. You could see how he elevated his play, and so many of us and so much talk focuses on what he does offensively. But he was ahead of the snake of a terrific defensive group for Golden State a season ago, and that's one reason why he ended up being the MVP.
Again, Curry missing.
Kevin, I tell you, his three-point shot has looked awful here in the second quarter. He's trying to shoot his way out of his slump, but he needs to give it a rest and try something else.
And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That's his first foul. Different look here for the Warriors. Festus Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Spates comes in for Brandon Rush. Leandro Barbosa, he's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Livingston in for Curry. And the Cavaliers will go with a different look here. Kevin Love's checked in for Mozgov. Shumpert comes in for James. Matthew Dellavedova has checked in for Smith. And it's Williams in for Kyrie Irving. Livingston kicks to Spates. Here's the dish to Barbosa. Taken away by Williams. Gets it off. And that's not going to go. And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Cavaliers ahead as they wrap up the second quarter with a big 11-3 run. Time now for the halftime break, with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first two quarters. Kyrie Irving really making a difference here.
And he just went off in those first two quarters, guys. He's capable of doing that on a consistent basis as well. So we might see some changes from a defensive standpoint as they try to disrupt his rhythm in the second half.
You know, guys, I think you've got to make some sort of change. I mean, they can't let him continue to torch him up like he has been.
Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far.
Take a look at what Irving's done. He has 8 points, and also those active hands of his have led to a pair of steals.
And he can just change a game with his defense, and he's thrown off their rhythm completely the last several possessions.
Maurice Spates out there with Iguodala. Then there's Barbosa. Then there's Festus Ezeli. And it's Livingston in at the one. That's Steve Kerr's 5 as we get into the second half. Now, here is Smith. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot two.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Clearly a foul. I mean, didn't give him any choice but to blow the whistle. I mean, you got to play without fouling.
Good on the second free throw.
And guys, Andre Iguodala entered this league as an athlete with raw skills. And bit by bit, though, he refined his game over the years, except in the one category, free throw shooting. In that one area, he was much better over the first 5 years of his career than he has been the last 5.
Here is Livingston, following the basket by LeBron James. Puts up the baby hook. And good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down. Timeout called the Cavaliers. And we were talking about Iguodala's free throw shooting. It really is a miracle. He's become so efficient, Clark, in every other area of his game. But last year, in his 11th season, he shot the second worst percentage of his career.
Sometimes, Kevin, it's simply a matter of confidence. You miss a few and it gets into your head, and before you know it, the harder you're trying, the worse it gets.
Some people think LeBron's athleticism, Clark, has declined over the last few years. He might be the first to admit it. He still looks terrific, though.
Well, he's, that's a natural progression for any player,
Sure.
even if you are LeBron. But he's still an elite athlete by NBA standards.
Timeout called the Warriors.
And remember the quote from LeBron on the subject. Obviously, I'm not the 18-year-old kid that I was before, but I can still do the things I need to be successful.
And the call will be against Sean Livingston. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Warriors. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Spates. Thompson comes in for Leandro Barbosa. And Curry subbed in for Sean Livingston.
You know, LeBron was just so far ahead of everyone in the league when he was young. I mean, even a LeBron who has lost a step is more athletic than 95% of our league. And you just look back over the career of LeBron, and you have to say he's an all-time great already. I mean, the numbers are there, the multiple championships, some already calling him the best small forward to ever play the game. That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Irving from long range. He scores his 5th field goal. He's taken 9 shots to get those 5.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Hey, just look at LeBron, Clark, in a historical context. Last season, he became the first player since Bill Russell and his Celtics to make it to the NBA Finals 5 consecutive years.
Boy, I tell you what, this says even more about LeBron, that whenever he leaves a team, they miss the playoffs. And no matter what team he's on, they're favorites to win their conference.
Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And Cleveland also making a change. Jefferson's checked in. Good on that shot. And with that, the Cavalier lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Klay Thompson. Now, here is Irving. He's got 14. In the corner, Smith with it. Cleveland moving it around. Just 5 to shoot. On its way from Irving for 2. That doesn't go in either for Irving. No one near Curry as he lets it go. Another 3 for Golden State.
As long as they keep spraying them from deep, we're going to have ourselves one exciting finish.
Yeah, it took them a while, but now they're starting to get into a flow from outside. And boy, is that time. And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
And Greg, I'm not quite sure why it took them as long as it did to finally get things going, but as we always say, better late than never.
Cleveland with a very strong year last year. They were a very solid team on the road, as most LeBron-led teams are.
Yeah, he's a special guy in terms of how he can elevate other players. Didn't start out hot on the road, but eventually got it together and ended up 22-19 away from home. Tell you what, guys, his size really comes into play when there's a rebound battle going on. He's got an advantage in there.
Here's Irving. Stolen by Thompson. For the lead. And the layup by Curry. Curry's got 8 points in the quarter.
Well, I tell you what, getting out in transition has really been a big part of this run they're on now.
And the best way to pile up points in a hurry, just run and get your buckets before the defense can get set.
Timeout called the Cavaliers. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
It's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be high.